Okay. How's everybody doing today? It is. Uh, Today is the 12th of April, and I'm going to talk about a few things. In particular, I want to talk about the markets. The markets have had another decent day. They didn't really end up. It's pretty much nothing crazy going on. They were pretty much flat. Flat is anything that's like upper minus 10, 20 basis points. They kind of have been hovering here near all-time highs and so forth. And the real story and the real overhang that's taking place on the markets is what's going to happen with any more stimulus money and bill. We've all noticed that interest rates have come back in on the 10-year. It's below 1.7%. It's like 1.67, and which is still really high from where it was. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. Okay, can you guys see me? Um, Hello, can you guys see me? Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. I think the battery just died. How about now? Jacob, can you guys see me now? Can you guys see me? Okay. Very good. So then, let me see. I'm going to add this to the stream. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. Okay, my apologies. My battery died. So sometimes I talk too much, I guess, and I forgot to change this up. Anyways, going back to what's taking place with regards to, I'm like frozen right there. It's a scary thought. What's going on with regards to this stuff with Georgia, with the markets, with this tax bill, with the increase in tax, increase in government spending. It seems as though the United Nations is basically calling on wealthy people around the world that profited from this whole COVID virus over the past year, that they should all pay up more money. Shocker. I think we all kind of know that it was rigged, that multinationals benefited at the expense of the entrepreneurship class, not just of the United States, but worldwide, and that this has been a huge injustice that has taken place. A lot of independent businesses got wiped out. A lot of money was squandered. We still don't know where it all went in the past year, and and only time will tell where all this money went that was paid out in a manner that made it very difficult to keep track of what was legit, what wasn't, and how much of that money is truly being skimmed. That's a big issue. And so, the tax situation on the wealthy is I guess you can call it the super wealthy. This whole overhang from how much money might get pushed through on a stimulus bill is also an overhang, and this is why the markets have kind of sidelined, and this is why rates have probably pulled in a little bit. They went almost hit 180 on a 10-year, and they pulled in because there is no clear direction as to whether or not there will be a lot more money being raised in order to fund this infrastructure program, because there seems to be an impasse with regards to the tax rates. I know that there's talk about putting in a higher minimum global floor on tax rates for multinationals. at 21%. I think that number would go up from 13% where it's at now. It's not insignificant, folks. 8% on, globally, profits are probably, I don't know, maybe worldwide, if I had to guess, maybe about $3 to $4 trillion. So 8% would be $300 billion of additional taxes that would be collected for, for governments worldwide. That global tax minimum isn't just for the United States. It's probably for the European Union, the United States, and so forth in Japan. So that's out there, folks. But what I wanted to discuss is this whole border crisis, folks. So right now, as we all have seen, and they've been really trying to shut this down in terms of letting the American people see just how bad it is. We have tremendous amount of people, in particular, a lot of children that are being basically, coming to the United States border unaccompanied, and they're trying to sneak in. And, a lot of these children, anywhere from the age of 8 to up to 17, but there's what I've kind of heard informally is that a lot of these children are between the ages of 13 to 17. And a lot of people think, well, it's the border with Mexico, they must be Mexicans. And I'm not so sure that they are, folks. And I know last year and the past few years, there's been a lot of talk about an element coming in from South America, in particular the nation of Honduras. Honduras has the M13 gang. We've all heard about the M13 gang through President Trump, and there's a chance that a lot of these children that are coming in might be tied to that. And who knows? I have no idea. I don't have any inside information. I'm just saying that we, the American people, need to better understand where all these children are coming from. What's the story with these children, and why are they continuing to make their way through Mexico and try to attempt to get into the United States? It's a very serious problem. And I joked around a few years back. I don't know, maybe it was like 5-6 years ago, and it turns out my joke was accurate. This was back when in the Middle East, when there was a crisis that was created that led to a lot of people fleeing the Middle East and trying to get into Europe through way of Turkey. And a lot of these people that showed up into Europe were all men. So if it was a refugee crisis, you should ask a simple question. Bobby, where are all the women and the children? Why is it only men going there? And my response at the time, and kind of like a tongue-in-cheek kind of answer was, well, if you want to sneak in a military onto your soil in Europe, 1 or 2 million people in the military, what better way than to create or manufacture a humanitarian crisis that makes the world be mad at you if you don't let them in? And sure enough, that's what Mad Merkel did. Mad Merkel let a lot of these men in, and they basically were fed, they were housed, they were allowed to, have their way with women there because the press suppressed it as well, and not in a good way, folks. There was a lot of crime that shot up through the roof in these communities and these various nations, and it was tied to this manufactured refugee crisis that's taking place. And so as an American, I'm thinking, well, if they ran that playbook in Europe, what's to say they don't try to run it here? And maybe they're going to try to run it through our southern border. So it's very disturbing that it's even a possibility. We don't have the wall complete. I want to imagine that it's not being torn down by this current administration, but we might be in the middle of something like that brewing on our border, which is extremely disturbing. The difference is these aren't grown adults. These aren't adults. These are children. But the question is, are these children, are they weaponized? Are they people that hate this country? Are they people that have nothing to lose and have been literally owned by criminal elements of our society? I don't have the answer to those questions, but I think that we need to look into it because our government is clearly failing to do so. So now I want to hit on the state called Georgia. If it wasn't enough with the border crisis, folks, I mean, the world is a crazy place. But I want to show you something, and I'm going to share my screen. And so, wow, I don't know, my face keeps freezing when I do that. Maybe it's a sign I shouldn't have my mug up here. But let me go over here real quick, and I want to show you a couple things, and I'm going to talk over here, so hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. I want to show you this stock. And now this stock right here, it's called ICE, Intercontinental Exchange. And this is a little shout out to Monica Matthews. Monica, I hope you're watching this, and if you're not, you need to watch it because you live in Georgia. And I want to bring this up because I think it's important. So this company called Intercontinental Exchange was founded back in 2000. And you can see it was founded on May 11, 2000 by this guy named Jeffrey Sprecher. So Jeffrey Sprecher, you might ask yourself, is that the Sprecher root beer? I don't know. I can't help but wonder if it is the Sprecher root beer. But he's headquartered out of Atlanta, Georgia. Look at that. So Atlanta, Georgia is where Sprecher and this firm are located. It just so happens. Talk about coincidence, folks. Look at the low today. The low in this stock, look at that, 116.66. Isn't that something? Look, folks, I didn't script this. Go pull up your own damn quote. Go look on your own computer and see if the quote for this today, the low today, was 116.66. And you can see for yourself that maybe this guy's worth looking into. So anyways, here he is. Here's his mugshot. Okay, oh, by the way, I want you to remember something. The stock was founded in 2000. It was less than $7 a share back in 2005. So the company was founded in 2000. $7 a share, it's $117 now. So it went up by $110. Look at what it's worth, folks. It's worth $66 billion right now. So this company is worth $66 billion with a B, 66,000 million. So this guy founded it, okay? So, okay, it only says he's worth $1 billion. I know that's a hill of beans. There's no way this guy's only worth $1 billion. He's doing a hell of a job hiding that money. This guy founded that company. It went from zero to $66 billion market cap today. I can't imagine he doesn't own at least 10% or more. Maybe he's done a good job of hiding it in trust. I have no idea, folks. I'm not saying he is, but once again, maybe it's worth looking into. But look at who this guy was married to. He was born in Wisconsin. There you go. Sprecher, there is Sprecher out of Wisconsin. So I can't help but think maybe it's because maybe it's a common name in Wisconsin. I don't know. But his sisters are filmmakers, Jill Sprecher and Karen Sprecher. Okay, so let's take a look at this, folks. Who do you think this guy used to be married to? Ta-da! Look at that. No other than Kelly Loeffler. Isn't that something? So this guy, this guy was married to the former senator, Kelly Loeffler. And Kelly Loeffler, she's from Illinois, right? So here she is, Illinois, businesswoman, U.S. senator. She's the one that lost. But the question is, did she lose, or was she asked to throw a fight? I don't know. I'm just saying I'm just joking, like the boxing analogy, folks. But this guy right here, this guy is married to her right here. Now, here's what's interesting, folks. Look at Intercontinental Exchange. So Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, you can pull this up on your stuff, and you can see it operates global exchanges. Mortgage technology, data and listing services. They own commodities. They own all this stuff. Isn't that something? So what's interesting about this, I started looking into this a while back because they've been expanding, I think, into China. And so, and they're doing stuff with the climate exchange. Isn't that something right here? Climate exchange. There you go. Let's get those carbon credits going, folks. And then, they bought super derivatives. They bought a data provider. So then they can control the prices on things. Oh, I didn't mean control. I guess keep track of prices of everything, how things price. And, and then they also bought some other exchanges around the world. They bought the Merrill Lynch Research Index platform, Euroclear, Virtu Bond Point, Chicago Stock Exchange in 2018. Look at all the things that this guy's been getting his hands on. and they are in everything. They're in futures markets, clearing. They're in energy, all the energy markets, financials. Okay, isn't that something? That is something else that we, the people, should look into, because this company is doing $8 billion in revenue, and it's making $2 billion. That's a 25% margin, and it has equity or book value of $20 billion. So it's literally worth $20 billion of book value. So, obviously Sprecher has done pretty well for himself, and I guess it doesn't hurt to marry somebody that you want to run for Senate, or if you have political aspirations, to marry someone like Sprecher, especially when you're in Atlanta. And Atlanta had, I think there was as many unique instances, I think, of first or last names in Georgia that was equal to the number of people in Atlanta, which I thought was very fascinating. Because like I said before, a lot of this stuff going on with some of this, these things, I don't even want to use the word, folks, because I don't want to get banned or something. Maybe these damn things are smart enough to ban. They used a lot of algorithms, right? A lot of algorithms that are tied to the financial markets. Ta-da! Somebody named Sprecher has been tied to the financial markets for 20 years. Look at that mugshot. I would smile like that too if I had that much money. Anyways, I'm just saying, it sure is interesting, folks. It sure is interesting, to say the least. And so, I don't know what it all means. I'm just trying to find a decent melody like everybody else. I'm just trying to take a look at what the hell is going on. Who are these people? Why are this? What happened with Georgia? How did we get two communists into the U.S. Senate? And who called the shots on that? And then if this guy Sprecher is in fact somehow tied into what's taking place with the Communist Party of China, then maybe, just maybe, he's going to have some exchanges for the next 50 years over there in China. I don't know. Maybe they'll let him buy some exchanges and take over control of the Chinese futures market or some other exchange. I have no idea, folks. I'm just saying it's worth looking into. It's worth. I think people should look into it, and they should be like, wait a second. This guy's wife was a senator, and then she loses a race to a communist, and he wants to go expand his business in China. Monica, you have the floor. I'm talking about Monica Matthews. I just got off the floor. I just got off the phone with Monica. She was on a conference call, and I just told her that she should watch this. It might be something interesting that she should watch. So I hope you're watching it, because I do think it's relevant to the people of Georgia, and you should look into it. So I'm just texting her right now, because I think she's a voice worth listening to, especially if you're in Georgia or across the country. I think that she's trying to get the truth out. And in this case, I don't even know what the truth is, folks. I don't know what the truth is, what this guy's involvement is. All I know is he came out of nowhere. He built up exchanges. He's been rolling up exchanges across the country. And next thing you know, the company's worth $70 billion. It is pretty amazing, to say the least. Karen, I agree with you. Pennsylvania has got a lot of compromised politicians. But what I will tell you, Karen, and I think I owe you a phone call too. so I did get your message, but I've been pretty busy. Today is Pennsylvania has 67 counties. Georgia has 167 counties. That makes Georgia really special, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, let's go to the Wikipedia. Let's go to the let's go, as they say, let's go to the internet. We all love our little internet here, so we're just going to go quickly to Wikipedia, and we're going to be like, okay, I think Georgia, state of Georgia, that is. We're going to just go here real quick. You can see that Georgia has, 10 million people, 10.6 million people. It's the 8th largest state in the country. And then when we go to Pennsylvania, let's see here, Pennsylvania I always think of Transylvania when I hear Pennsylvania. I don't know if anybody else thinks that, but see, Pennsylvania is 12.8 million. So so think about this for a second, Karen. Pennsylvania has 2 million more people, but Georgia has 100 more counties. I love looking at these kind of crazy relationships. It's like, what the hell is going on in Georgia that they have 100 more counties, 100 more sets of paperwork, 100 more little minions running around making things, I guess, making things just right. Now, I don't know what that just right is, but I just think that it really begs the question, is it harder or easier to keep track of things when you have 100 extra counties? That's a lot of thumb drives. You need an extra 100 thumb drives. you need 100 extra storage containers or warehouses for paper ballots. You need a lot of other stuff going on, folks. And just saying. I'm just saying it's worth looking into, and so forth. And so I don't know what the hell it all means, folks. I'm just saying that it's it turns my stomach at times to think about how bad it can be, and I guess how bad it continues to be, and when this is going to change. I am optimistic that it is changing for the better. There's a lot of things in progress that I do believe that we don't see them. I'm not privy to any folks. I'm not saying that I am. I just have a feeling that there's a lot of unbelievable Americans out there. I've had the privilege of speaking with quite a few that are they're getting the job done. We don't need everybody to step up. Ironically, if we just get one out of every 47,000 of us, just one out of every 47,000 of us, then we'll have 7,000 people, just like the 7,000 elected officials in this country. Now, if we can get one out of every 4,700, now all of a sudden we're talking real numbers, folks. We got 70,000 Americans getting organized to take it to them, kick the shit out of them a little bit, and not just the polling booth, but we need to turn around and put ballot initiatives on the ballots. That we want paper ballots. We don't want these digital ballots anymore. We want to do stuff where we have much better security and proof of our vote, so that we can take our document of proof of vote and maybe provide a way to cross-check it with an independent service and so forth. Anyways, these are the types of things that I think that we can start to do. And so what I can tell you is, I'm working on this stuff with Geneva. I haven't forgotten about it, folks. I am working on it. I owe some people some phone calls. The weekend went by super fast. It was raining, but I had a bunch of stuff I had to do around the house, and so I had some personal days this weekend, folks. I'm working during the week, and sometimes I'm working 14, 16-hour days. That I do need to get the shit done around the house, otherwise. My wife's not going to be too happy with me. So anyways, I did get a bunch of stuff done. Now I'm turning my attention to obviously simultaneously to Arizona, as well as to Geneva, Illinois, and then I'm going to create some new methods of creating these phantom scores. As I do these phantom scores and so forth, I'm very optimistic that that template, that framework will be able to be used elsewhere. And so, I think it's going to be wonderful if all that stuff gets out. Now, in the meantime, everybody out there, take the time to learn about your community. If you don't know what your precinct number is, find out what precinct you are. So I have a little, I have a little assignment for everybody. It would be super helpful. And I know we only have 30 people, but hopefully I'll get more people to answer this. Precinct number. What is your precinct? Okay. If you can, get involved and run as a precinct committee person. Okay. So precinct committee person, run for one of those positions. I got to tell you, over 60-70% of the people that reach out to me are women. And I'm not saying anything against the guys, folks, but it seems as though more women volunteer to try to take this country back than men. So guys, you got to start stepping up. For what it's worth, maybe I have a different sample size, and maybe the number would be more 50-50. But I'm just telling you that women are stepping up more to take this country back, and I think we need everybody stepping up, not just 70% of the people being women. So, anyways, please, guys, you gotta start stepping up a little more. Women shouldn't outnumber us 2-1 with getting this kind of work done. Anyway, so that's that. With regards to, the county, what is your county name? And then what is your congressional district? We should have a scorecard. Everybody should have a scorecard of who is it that even is their elected official. Every single elected official. We need to get more active. And this whole business, I just went in when I went to vote, for mayor of Geneva. There's all these people running for office, like all these, like this judge and this person for this alderman, and they're all running unopposed. Like just like literally one person on the ticket. You can't even vote against them if they were the biggest piece of garbage out there. I think that's wrong. I think this is America. We should have at least 2 candidates on every damn thing. I do think that we should look into doing that. And at a minimum, just imagine how much better this country would be if there was a little bit of competition. There should be no race that's ever run unopposed in this country, period. There's 300 million Americans. Start to get involved on the basics. Let's just get the basics done. Find out who's running, what do they stand for, who are they, and why isn't somebody running against them? Find out why nobody's running against them. And if I hear an answer or you hear an answer like, well, because they've been doing it 10 years, all the more reason to get them out. I don't think anybody should be in office for more than 8 years. The president's 2 terms, 8 years, no position ever more than 8 years. U.S. Senator, I don't think a senator should be more than 1 year. So get them out of there. And anyways, we are working hard in PA to flip bread. PA4 to flip bread. I'm walking doors. I don't think PA4, that's a whole nother conversation. So Decree, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'll talk about PA4 at some point. But all I can tell you is that we need to get back to the basics. We need to make sure that people are involved and, become PCs, precinct committee people. And then turn around and run for office if it's run unopposed. We need to map all this out. And you at a minimum, each of us, whoever's watching this, please, please take the time to just know who's responsible for your neck of the woods. Let's just get the basics down, folks. Find out who's responsible for where you live. What are the taxes for you? What are your taxes in your community compared to all the surrounding communities? What are your taxes on a county level compared to the county levels around you? And, I'm working on this, folks, that I'm going to work on getting a data set that everybody can kind of see. It's a massive project, and I'm not going to start it just yet because I got other stuff I got to take care of that's more pressing. But what I'm saying is everybody at a minimum could start doing the basics around their community, their life, because, this whole thing is going to get corrected by all of us stepping up. And so we all have to step up and make everybody proud to be Americans again. I do believe that it goes that way. We need to go back to the basics, knock out all the people that are kind of scummy or a little suspect. No offense to Mr. Sprecher. I'm not mad about how much money this guy has. I think it's a wonderful thing if he made it. That's the American way. You take some of it in and you turn around and you build a company from scratch, like this guy did. But what I will say is, hold on a second, if Mr. Sprecher is taking all this wealth that he's made and so forth, and he's using it to have undue power and influence over not just Georgia, but the people of the United States. I don't think he should he should be able to pull those strings. I think the public should, and so forth. And so, that's what I think. And you guys disagree with me, that's okay. But I do think that it's most definitely worth looking into. And so I'm just curious what kind of movies she makes. She 13 conventions about one thing. Anyways, they said that she makes movies. That's his sister. I'm really curious what kind of movies, that she's made and so forth. Clock watchers, I don't know. I'm always fascinated by who these people are related to and what their agenda is and what they're trying to achieve and so forth. So maybe we need to look into her too and find out what the hell she's doing, because these people are having an incredibly unhealthy, undue influence on us, we the people of the United States. Some of these policies are leading to this insane border issues that we see. Some of it's leading to insane issues with China, that with them possibly having conflicts of interest and dealing with the communists there, so that if they can benefit economically, they might look the other way on some of these other problems that impact us far more so. So I think that we need to look into all of this stuff. So anyways, precinctstrategies.com. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Holly. So anyways, with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. I will be back at 8:30 for day 51 of the greatest book ever written. So if you have time, maybe give it a watch. And, that's about it for now. Enjoy your evening, and I will see you guys soon. I'll see you in the morning at 7:45. So 7:45 in the morning is when I do my broadcast, and 4 p.m. So unless for some reason I'm running late, I'll probably send out a message on Telegram or on Twitter. But in general, those are the times I'll be trying to hit. So that's about it. Have a great day. Thank you.